The first guitar brand I have to put on this list is Vola, which stands for Voice of Life and Arts. If you're unfamiliar with Japanese-made electric guitars, their craftsmanship and attention to detail is fantastic. This guitar is a great hybrid between modern versatility and its original design. So we get a big fat maple neck on this guitar, which feels great under the fingers, but we get much bigger and beefier frets as well. So that's always a good thing. We also get the modern appointment of a belly cut and a contoured heel here, which makes getting up to the end of the fretboard far more easier. We get two pickups. Now this particular combination does offer you a little bit more. We get our standard neck tally pickup for the tally aficionados, but if we get over to the bridge pickup here, it will be a mini humbucker or it will be a coil split version, giving us the traditional tally sound in that coil tap mode, or we can pull up the boost and get a mini humbucker. I think that's a really good design. Vola are definitely worth giving a look at if you're looking for something different with some more modern appointments. Unless you've played a modern Telecaster, you don't know what you're missing. The next guitar brand on this list is Paoletti. These two guitars not only sound great, but they almost look like works of art. Check that out, man. It is crazy. I picked this one on purpose because I thought it really stood out. This one I've already reviewed and played, and it's just a great guitar. What really makes these different from a lot of other brands is, one, they're made in Italy, and I don't see too many Italian guitar brands making the rounds online, and two, they're made from reclaimed wine barrel. That's right, so they've reused the timbers to put into their electric guitars. I think that's a really great thing. Paoletti guitars are definitely a great point of difference, and just check this out for example, right? We get two shotgun shells as the volume and tone control. Up close they look beautiful, they feel great in the hand, nice big chunky necks, and made from reclaimed wood, which is always a good thing. Up next is a guitar brand that might look like a Zemantis, but it's a Teya. Teya Guitars are made in Nashville with the approval on their design from Zemantis. Yeah, wow, check this out up close, man. It looks really, really stunning, but looks aside, this guitar plays great. The idea of these guitars is to have one and done. I don't know any guitar player that does that, but that's the whole concept of this. The designer was basically like, I want to take one guitar to a gig instead of five. You get a 5-way toggle switch on a guitar with two humbuckers. We also get some voicing controls that allow us to shape and scoop the tone however suits your ear. There's actually a diagram that comes with some of them where you can go through about 15 different settings. So it's full on, you can get just about everything out of this. Here's the back of the guitar here. They're really quite a work of art. Visually, they might not be for everybody, but they make a whole bunch of different guitars that look super cool. Now, if you're a doctor or lawyer, you'll definitely get a kick out of number 4, which is a Monteleone electric guitar. This is the only Lefty, I think, of this available anywhere. If you're unfamiliar with Monteleone guitars, this one fetches $22,000 US used. If you're gonna buy one of these directly from John Monteleone, the builder of these, it's gonna fetch you far, far more. And he doesn't usually make solid body electrics like this. If you've ever seen the Mark Knopfler documentary where he talks about his guitar collection, Monteleone has made his archtop electric that was used on a lot of recordings. These are absolutely stunning. Now, they are super expensive, and obviously that won't be for everybody. It's far out of my price point, but not only does it look and feel great in the hand, it has two of the best sounding humbuckers I've ever played, and I've done a full review of this as well. I'll link that up in the cards and you can check it out after this video, but this thing sounds really special, it looks special, and it has arguably the nicest neck I've ever seen on any electric guitar ever, as well as it should, because this is super expensive. The only small downside to this guitar is it's quite chunky in terms of its weight, but it looks stunning, it sounds fantastic, and being that it's made by a legend in the field, this is definitely worth checking out if you've got money to burn. The next guitar brand you might not have heard of is Nik Huber. Now, I know these have gained some momentum over the last few years, at least online, for example, but there's still a lot of folks who know nothing about these electrics. These are some of the most playable and functional guitars out there, and some of the lightest as well. So if you're looking for a lightweight alternative to something like a Gibson, these are far better instruments in my opinion. Playability is great, the tones are great, and being as light as they are, that's also fantastic. We get some benefits of this over something like a traditional design. We get that nice contoured belly cut here, we get a contoured heel, we get a nice sort of satin finish on the neck as well, and it feels like a really premium guitar in the hand. Nik Huber make a great range of guitars, including this one, which is the Krauster too, I think that's how you say it. They've also got a Twangmeister, which I played many years ago, and that was one of my favorite guitars I'd ever played, along with the Orca 59, which is maybe my favorite Nik Huber of all time. But these are really premium guitars. I think much better than a lot of the other guitars around the price point of this. These are expensive, not as expensive as the Monteleone. The sixth guitar brand that you might not have heard of is Malinoski. Malinoski make really functional guitars, and they also make them extremely lightweight without sacrificing on the feel. The body on this is so thin. If you compare this up against a traditional Telecaster, it's way thinner, for example, and much, much thinner and lighter than your standard Les Paul style guitar. Now, another benefit to this is you still get the belly cut and the contour down here, as well as a contoured heel. So you can get basically all the way up to the end of the fretboard without any problems whatsoever. One of the things I've always loved about these guitars is their neck. Have a look at that. I'll show you this up close. They look beautiful, and there's so many different variations when it comes to pickups. The pickups on this guitar sound fantastic, and they're right up there with some of the best humbucker tones I've heard from more expensive guitars. So if you're looking for something different, lightweight, that sounds great, check out the Malinoski range. The last guitar on this list is Jet. This is a guitar brand that's new to me. I picked this up and gave it a shot, and I have to tell you, not only does it feel great, it also sounds good. This particular model probably isn't available anymore as it's a used guitar, but I know it's a brand not many people have heard of. Let's take a look at this guy up close. So one of the cool things about it are the inlays. They look really, really premium and really quite beautiful. You'll either like that or you won't. Some people, I'm sure, will find that a little bit over the top. But I think where they get this right is they build a guitar that's a solid body, that's really light and quite thin compared to other options on the market. The belly cut contour is quite prominent as well, which also helps reduce the weight. The flame maple neck on this Jet guitar is one of the nicest I've seen. As I move it around on camera here, you can really get a sense of how nice this is. Jet guitars are handmade in North Carolina in the US. They've probably got another factory somewhere else, but this particular model is a used guitar, and it's one of the most interesting and nice guitars that you probably haven't heard about.